Hey, what's up YouTube? Down to Fix It Man. Got another quick video here for you. Got an evap leak on a 99 Dodge Ram 1500. This has got the V6 Magnum. And we've got a large evap leak going. So this is the P0455. It's kind of nice. They've got a little diagram kind of showing the basics of the evap system and all the components. So I'm just kind of looking through here, just going to do a visual. All these hoses down here and the canister, and this is a little filter. I'm just checking everything, just making sure I don't see any obvious cracks or any problems like that. But we're just gonna disconnect here our little service port and this little pickle jar that you see here with a soldering iron in there, epoxied in with a couple pen caps. That's my homemade smoke machine. I've got it plugged in right now, filling up with lots of smoke. Just blow into this end and it just puts out a lot of smoke out this other end. I'll show you. It's just filling up right now. I guess you could use a vape pen or a real smoke machine. This is just a $5 version. It really didn't, I just bought the soldering iron and everything else I had. It works pretty well. I just have inside there just an old sock with some mineral oil, and that's what's burning and making the smoke. I suspect we have an issue down below near the evap canister, which is underneath the passenger side. I'll show you that here in a minute. There's quite a few hoses up above on the evap canister, and I think that's a pretty common issue for some of those hoses to go bad. Let's get this hooked up. I'm just gonna hook in this end to the service side here, our evap line, and we'll come down here. The passenger side, right down here underneath, I've got a couple lights set up so you can see what's going on. This is where I think our issue is. I'm gonna go put some smoke in there and see if we can find that. I can see quite a bit of smoke now down here. All right, so you can see that we've got a leak going down here. I just need to make sure that we're getting a pretty good shot of that for you guys, because I can't see what all you're seeing. There we go. All right, let's give this a try. So we know we got a leak here, obviously. It's kind of hard for me to see everything up there. I mean, I can kind of hold the camera up here and get an idea of what you're seeing, but you can see that the angle of this is kind of awkward. You know, I can stick my head up there a little bit and see these lines, but I think what I'm going to do is just pull this off. It's just on a little bracket, just looks like a bolt on this side and maybe another one on the other side. And those are just a 13mm bolt, looks like. So I'm just going to pull this down and then have a little bit better access to work on those and see what exactly is our problem. Got two more over on this side. And there must be another one up top. All right, there is another bolt here up top that's a little bit harder to get to. I kind of had to use my phone and the camera here to be able to see it, but there it is. All right. And I think this is our main problem right here. This guy is just really just corroded. It's just kind of disintegrating. That's it. I think that was our issue. So yep, it's this little fitting right here. Oh, just look at that. That's just terrible. That thing is just falling apart. Yeah, this is our issue for sure. This is it's disintegrating, just kind of crumbling. It's like a two-way, 2-into-1, kind of a weird little shape there, but that's our issue. I'm gonna see if I can find this part, maybe at the local dealer. If not, we'll make something, or we'll just try to figure out some way to run these two hoses. It's this one and this one, and then they run down into this nipple here on the canister. All right, so I was unable to find this part here. I think we can make something work, but we basically just need to get those two hard lines connected down to the canister itself, to that nipple, and I think we can do that. So let's see what we can come up with, and then I'll come back and put it together. All right, so I just took the canister down. We just had that other hose that was on here, and that hose is in pretty good shape. the larger diameter hose. This hose does not look like it's cracked or leaking anywhere. And so I'm just going to leave it this time. Normally I'd probably swap that out, but I don't have a hose that same diameter. And because it's larger over here, kind of flared out, it looks like it's probably a dealer part anyway. But our biggest issue here is with this fitting. You can see that these are slightly different diameters for those hard lines, and this is a much larger diameter down here at the bottom. I think I'm just going to use this 5/16 T, and this is 5/16 hose. It's a silicone hose which stretches a little bit, so it's a little bit more forgiving as far as diameter. You can see that that's stretched out, but that actually will fit on there nicely and seal that up. Probably not going to put a clamp down here, but I will put a clamp on the T, and then we'll use that. I think I'm going to actually use the same diameter hose, 5/16, for these sizes, for these hard lines as well. It fits nicely on the larger one. This is a 5/16 standard rubber fuel line, and this is a little bit tighter and doesn't stretch as much as the silicone. You can see the hole is a little bit bigger on the silicone. But with a clamp, I already checked it on the barb on that hard line. It looks like it's going to work. So this is what I'm going to use, this little 5/16 T. You can see it does fit nicely on this 5/16 fuel line. So that will be for one end of the hard line. And then I'm also going to use that 5/16 stretched out on the bottom. So we'll cut this smaller and make that work. You see, I cut that short. I just don't want this sticking up because I don't want it rubbing on anything. It looks like it's about the same height as this hose, so we should be good. So here's this run long. I actually have this other silicone hose, 5/16 as well, and I'm going to use that for the other side. It's for this side right here, which is a little bit larger hole, and this should stretch out just fine. These are just some little clamps that just I think I'm going to use these too on everything. I guess I shouldn't bore you with all the details of how I'm putting this together, but that's plenty snug. That's not going anywhere. Now I just don't think I need a clamp down on the bottom, but I probably will tighten this one here. And I don't know what direction I want that to face just yet. So let's go down underneath. Let me get the rest of my clamps going here. That's perfect. Tighten that down. All right, I think that's going to work. Let's go back down. You can just see I've got one of these little T's on here. This is a 5/16 T, so I did end up using a 5/16 hose. This one just seemed to stretch a little bit more, the blue. It says 5/16 on it, just like this other silicone on this side, but it just looked like it had a little bit more material on there, so it stretched on there nicely, and we got a nice good seal on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cap this side, blow into this side, and also cap this port here in the back with my thumb and see if that holds pressure. And it does. So we know that that's going to work. This is definitely holding pressure, so we just got to get our line back on, cut these. I'll probably have to have one twist around, or I don't know what direction I'm going to angle this just yet. So let's get that down underneath the truck and we'll put this back together. So this one I'm going to have the return back on this side, and this one goes up to this hard line here. I'm going to see if I can put that on. Kind of just trying to do this while I balance the canister. Yeah, that's going to work. And then this one just pushes straight on. This hose probably could be replaced, but it's still hanging in there. I'm just going to put in one of the mounting screws right now, just to kind of hold this up part way so it doesn't drop. There we go. So I'm good with that just kind of hanging there for right now, because I want to show you what I'm doing. Okay, that went on just fine. Now all I need to do is just do a little loop. This stuff flexes pretty well back to this line here. So let's get that cut. That'll work. Perfect. It does feel like it's going to work out just fine. I'll get you in here better once I get these started. All right, so I've got them all connected. I know it's just kind of hanging down here. Let me see if I can show you. So there's the T, there's all the hoses, and that worked out just fine. And this one just kind of have it doubling back. But let's get this mounted, pushed up in place. And can't forget about that bolt up top. That'll be fun. Trying to fish this in, but I think we can get it started. All right, and then just kind of using my phone to find where this goes. There it is. There it is. All right, so I got the little smoke tester here plugged back in just so that we can verify the repair. So I'm gonna go ahead and just blow in through here and see if we get any smoke coming out now. I don't see anything from out here, but let's get the camera set up down here and I'll do the same thing that I did earlier. All right, so I'm gonna go put some smoke in it and we'll see if anything comes out over here. All right, well, I did not see any coming out at all. I noticed if I blew long enough, I am getting some coming out here of this filter, which I think is okay. That's where it's going to escape. Yeah, just a little bit coming out of this filter. I definitely am putting a lot more pressure. It takes a lot more pressure to blow into that system now. So I'm hoping that that was our main issue. I think it was. So let's get this hooked back up. Disconnect our little homemade smoke machine hose. Get that out of here. And just reconnect this down here. All right, that looks good. Now the owner had said that the battery died on this, so there is not a code right now. I don't need to clear a code or anything, but we're gonna drive it around a little bit and test it and verify that that doesn't come back on. Driven this around quite a bit now, and check engine light has not come back on. The owner said that this has been happening for quite a while, and he said that the light would usually come on, you know, shortly after driving. Like I said, he had to jump it before he brought it over, so we had a dead battery, so we probably had to erase the code. This is our culprit right here. Definitely was our issue. Tested it again with the smoke tester, and you saw there was no smoke coming out of there, just a little bit out of that front filter. So I think we're good, but we'll drive it around a little bit more, make sure those codes don't come back on. But that's pretty much it. Hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. I'll get a link in the description to some of the parts and tools used in the video as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.